Hi, this is Phil Constantine with Travels with Phil. I thought I'd put together some patriotic scenes for the 4th of July holiday. So here we are in Lexington at the Battle Green. Travels with Phil continues from Lexington, Massachusetts. That's the famous Minuteman statue seen on postcards and insurance companies everywhere. We're in Lexington, just out of Boston. The birth of a nation, it says there on the little ring underneath the American flag. Lexington is the scene of the original battle between the Redcoats and the American rebels. Travels with Phil continue in the Lexington Battle Green. This monument here is sacred to the liberty of the rights of man, the freedom and independence of America, sealed and defended with the blood of her sons. This monument is erected by the inhabitants of Lexington under the patronage at the expense of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts to the memory of the following citizens: Ensign Robert Monroe, Messrs. Jonas Parker, Samuel Hardy, Jonathan Harrington, Junior Isaac Muzzy, Caleb Harrington, and John Brown of Lexington. And it looks like Ashiel Porter of Woburn, who fell on this field, the first victims to the sort of British tyranny and oppression on the morning of the ever-memorable 19th of April, 1775. The die was cast. The blood of these martyrs in the cause of God and their country was the cement of the union of these states, then colonies, gave the spring to the spirit, firmness, and resolution to their fellow citizens. They rose as a man to revenge their brethren's blood, and at the point of the sword to assert and defend their native rights. They nobly dared to be free. The contest was long, bloody, and affecting. Righteous heaven approved their solemn appeal. Victory crowned their arms, and the peace, liberty, and independence of the United States of America was their glorious reward, built in the year 1799 here in Lexington. Paul Revere is well known for his ride warning the colonists of the coming British. Travels with Phil continues. Listen, my children, and you shall hear there's something quite wrong about that ride of Paul Revere. There were other writers of which you don't hear a lot. Their names were William Dawes and Samuel Prescott. Hey, I just made that up. Well, what's wrong with that story by Longfellow? Lots of people made the ride. 3 main ones, lots of people after that. But Paul Revere didn't finish it. He was captured by the British right here. Dawes and Prescott continued on. They were able to, well, Dawes had to get around. Prescott was able to get through. And this is the scene of where Paul Revere got caught. And there, bold letters. And right there in bold letters, Samuel Prescott, not Paul Revere, carried the alarm to Concord and beyond. It's sort of funny, according to the tour guide out here, they said, yeah, when they were being held, Dawes says, hey, look over there. And they turned around and looked, and he rode off. And I don't know if it was actually quite that simple, but Dawes did manage to escape. And Prescott managed to jump over a wall and get away from the soldiers as well. One of the opening scenes of the American Revolution was the Boston Massacre. This is where it happened. Travels with Phil continues from Boston. This, again, is the old State Building. You can see it here in the middle of downtown Boston. Oops, sorry, don't mean to go too fast there for you. And right here on the spot, it says, site of the Boston Massacre, March 5, 1770. Turn back around there. So that's the actual spot itself. This is at Congress and State, Devonshire. There's several different roads coming together right here, but this is the actual scene of the Boston Massacre itself, in Boston itself. All of that itself. And this is Phil himself. Travels continue. And the massacre itself is called that because several people were killed. Well, this is where they were buried. Travels with Phil continues. These are the 5 people who were buried or killed at the Boston Massacre, victims of the Boston Massacre. Samuel Gray, Samuel Maverick, James Caldwell, Crispus Attucks, and Patrick Carr. This is victims of the Boston Massacre, lay interred here by order of the town of Boston. Also lies buried the body of Christian Snyder. One of the most famous images of the American Revolution is the USS Constitution, or Old Ironsides. Travels with Phil continues in Charlestown, and that is the USS Constitution, Old Ironside. That's some of her sides. They definitely have it in dry dock. They're doing a lot of work on it here. You can see part of the
masthead there, or the bowsprit, hardly come off. Multiple levels down there where folks are working on it, refurbishing it.
Another famous location related to the American Revolution is the Old North Church.
Travels with Phil continues. All right, the front of Old North Church. The sign up there says, "The signal lanterns of Paul Revere displayed in the steeple of this church, April 1775, warned the country of the march of the British troops to Lexington and Concord." Zoom in a little bit.
Now, he didn't actually hang the lanterns, he had somebody do it, and this is one of the original ones.
Phil continues in the Concord Museum. This lantern has been identified as one of the lanterns hung as a signal in the belfry of Christ Church, Old North Church in Boston, on the night of 1875. Basically, the person who sold it says they got it from the sexton of the Christ Church, and is affirmed by said sexton at the time to have been one of the two lanterns flashed from the belfry of that church by Paul Revere on the evening of April 1775.
And what could be more American than watching a baseball game on July 4th? I went to Fenway Park.
Hand, touching hand, reaching out, touching me, touching you, sweet Caroline, you have never been so good, so good, so good.
And to top off a July 4th celebration, what could be better than fireworks? I went to Lexington.
Well, travels with Phil.
Lexington, Massachusetts, fireworks, July 2nd. Well, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a very happy 4th of July.